Everybody, ask John here. Right now I'm driving in the rural area of the city. This city called the Dingtao, Heze. So while I'm driving, I want to talk about the coronavirus, how America could learn from China, learn China's experience in dealing with the coronavirus. Because I do think like America, they are making mistakes right now as I'm speaking. And last time when I was talking about this topic, I had a car accident. So this time, I'm driving carefully. I'm driving a e-bike, so I don't. Hopefully, the karma doesn't come so quick. All right. So, like I said, I think compared with China, America, and some European countries, is not doing good enough in containing the spread of the coronavirus, especially America. One thing I keep saying is that wear a mask. Social distancing is not effective. All right, you have people asymptomatic, right? They are contagious even though they don't show symptoms. So that is why it is so important whenever you are outside, in America, you have to wear a mask. And the president, the Trump, is now setting a good example. He himself is contradicting the recognition by the CDD or CCD. Even within a same country, you have different policies, you have different opinions. So that will create confusion among its nationals. Who should I follow? The president doesn't recommend what other authorities are recommending, right? So this is troublesome. So this is number one. I think masks is very important. But, even though sometimes some people, they want to wear masks, but Americans, they don't have manufacturing. They don't produce masks that much. And also, ventilators. I heard a lot of these words many times. The New York governor, Guamer, keeps saying that we lack of ventilators. So we have to import all these, protective gear, gowns. America, they don't have this kind of manufacturing capacity. And they don't have cheap labor, to be honest. So right now it's easy for Chinese to have a mask. So that probably is part of the reason why not so many people, not so American, wear masks. All right. Another thing, why compared with China, America fails at containing the spread of this virus is that I don't think America has strong enforcement of policies. America doesn't have so many government workers. America does not have so many government workers that on the payroll of the government or on the CCP. But in China and also in small places, you have a lot of government workers, and you have also a lot of volunteers. So whenever the government says something, people, they will follow. So from a big city, tier 1 city, to rural areas like this, you have the enforcement is the same. the villagers, they also strongly enforce the policy, the order set by the central government. So if the government says do not have unnecessary activities, most of the time, over 90% of the time, people will follow. They don't go outside. If the government says no, you should stay at home for 14 days, for a month, no problem. You have to sacrifice your own interest, for the benefit of the long term. How terrible it is in Wuhan in last 2 months, 3 months ago. But now Wuhan is basically reopening its economy. People can go basically freely in and out of Wuhan. So that is what I mean. You have to sacrifice for a short period of time in exchange for the prosperity of the long term. But I don't see that in America. Trump, he's a businessman. Now, long time, he's overly confident. He's overly optimistic. He said that hopefully, American economy will recover before the Easter. But now we see it's not impossible. How many cases I have seen today so far are reported in America? Earlier today I checked, there are over 500 cases in America, and China has over 80,000 cases for like a few weeks. And I do hope America could have this under control. This is a new highway being constructed. This is a new highway. It will open at the end of this year. It's a new highway. What's this building for? Oh, they probably demolished this building. It's a chicken place. Okay, back to the subject at hand. Number 2 is, I said, enforcement of the policies. America's the percentage of government, just the people on the payroll of the government in America is far less than that in China. In China, a lot of people, the government is their employers. The enforcement of the policy is very strong, and also you have state-owned companies. But in America, you have democracy, you have Democrats, you have Republicans. Sometimes they have different opinions. So together they don't have that kind of enforcement. And the police, the enforcement of the policy is not just done by the police in China. It's more like done by people, working for the government. However, in U.S., only the police do the job, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, I think, is that like U.S. Now this could be the extension of the point 2. It's like people are used to the freedom. You can't just let people stay in. And in New York, even though it is quite worse in New York, but still they don't have the same policy as we had in Wuhan a few weeks ago. Basically, Wuhan, you are not allowed to drive outside. All right, you are not allowed to drive in Wuhan. Only like essential activity is allowed. But in New York, still right now, on YouTube, I still see people driving around. I still see people jogging, walking their dogs without a mask. So, it seemed to me like it's not going to end. The pandemic is not going to end in New York. So that is quite troublesome, and I don't really want to see this. The coronavirus is affecting the economy, and the globalization. Nobody is capable from this. So if something bad happens in America, it means that we lose a lot of consumers. The manufacturing here in China, they are having a hard time selling their stuff abroad. All right. So number 3, Westerners, they are used to the just a freedom of movement, but in China, since a lot of people, they work for the government, they have to follow the rules, otherwise they will get disciplined. And also, about the first point of the mask, I have to add something. It seems to me like there is some kind of a stigma associated with wearing masks for Westerners. They are not used to this. They think only sick people wear that. Whereas in Asia, especially in Japan and South Korea, even before the pandemic, you have people wearing the masks. Maybe they are coughing, they don't want to get cold, or they don't want to give the virus to others. So that is why you see in Japan, in South Korea, how the things are quickly under control again. Whereas in the West, not so much. Even though people in Japan and South Korea, they live very close to each other. The density of population is much higher than that in Europe or America. Number 3 is about just the habit. People in the West, they are used to the freedom of movement. I want to add. I wanted to make it number 4.4. Why is it so hard, or why America feels that dealing with the coronavirus? Number 4, I think it's because America is a developed country. It's you can say like America is the world center. New York is the world center of economy, culture, art. So you have people traveling in and out of America frequently. You have people from a lot of countries for traveling to America, or out of America for business, for leisure, for trip, for travel. Whereas in China, also you can see, from the demographics of the cases, is that big cities, large cities have close connections with Wuhan, have more cases. So it's not it's not, naturally you will have people coming to America. Where do they land when they come to America? New York, number one. California, probably number two. That's basically the most two destinations for travelers from other countries. Whereas, in small places, for example, in my hometown, in this place, in this city, not just this district, in this district there's no cases. In this city, they have like less than 20 cases, and it's all from mostly it's from other places of China. When they came to this city, they brought the disease within them. All right. So, like I said, America, you have people of different backgrounds, ethnicities, races. So it's hard, but we will see the effect. Right now, America basically has sealed off the border to only but American citizens. So only American citizens, I think, can go back to America. Other places, other countries, people from other countries, you can't just go to America, which I think is doing the right thing. Just like China also closes its borders to foreigners.